Supreme Court will decide if Trump's birthright citizenship order will stand. Birthright citizenship is like it sounds. It's a principle that means if you are born on United States soil, then you are by birth an American citizen. The argument made by the Trump administration is that the purpose of the 14th Amendment was to grant citizenship to freed slaves, not to grant citizenship to children that are born here to illegal aliens that are here temporarily.
Yeah, look, Jay Blue, our country's been through all this before. You might not know it because you were sleeping in high school civics, but the 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868, and Wong Kim Ark, the child of two Chinese immigrants, was born in 1873. His parents could not become U.S. citizens, yet the Supreme Court ruled that Wong Kim Ark was indeed a U.S. citizen simply because he was born in the United States. Their decision had nothing to do with the amendment's original purpose, granting citizenship to formerly enslaved people. The text of the Constitution says that everyone born in the United States is a citizen. This includes children of Chinese immigrants. Keep in mind, the Chinese were treated at the same time, much like many of the immigrants are treated today. Like the Somalis. They were largely unwelcome. In fact, Congress passed the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1882 to halt Chinese immigration entirely. Yet, despite this hostility, the 14th Amendment still granted citizenship to the children of those Chinese people who were born here, regardless of the parents' status. So yeah, that kind of chiseled in stone that the 14th Amendment wasn't just exclusively written for freed slaves. You see, what really doesn't matter, Jay Blue, is the 14th Amendment, or any amendment for that matter, what the original motivations behind its adaptation were. That doesn't change the legal force of that amendment today. Once an amendment is added to the Constitution, it becomes binding law. It protects and guarantees and applies to everyone living under it now, regardless of the historical circumstances that led to its creation. Here, let me put this in terms you might understand, Jay Blue. The Second Amendment guarantees our right to own weapons, guns. Many liberals would tell you that, you have to understand the historical context of the Second Amendment. And you see, it was actually written so that we could maintain and organize a militia and protect the United States against foreign invasion, but we really don't need that anymore. We have the National Guard. We have the world's strongest army. Now, doesn't matter. What's written on words, on paper, are the only thing that matters. And in accordance with the Second Amendment of the Constitution, you and I, if I were living in the United States, would have the right to own and bear arms. The motivations for writing an amendment really aren't as important as what is now currently in black and white on the paper. And more importantly, Jay Blue, no one can simply ignore an amendment, not even the President of the United States. It can't be reinterpreted or set aside because someone dislikes it. The only way to nullify an amendment is through another constitutional amendment, a deliberately difficult process that requires approval by 2/3 of both houses of Congress and ratification by 3/4 of the states. In other words, once an amendment is in the Constitution, it stays there, unless the nation, through an overwhelming democratic consensus, chooses to repeal it.